Beloved friends in Christ, welcome to Light of God Bearers Assembly channel. What is conceivable is achievable. Let's take the lesson from conception. For a woman to conceive, she has to meet with a man, and she ought to do the needful. What is the needful? She ought to be in her ovulation. It's a process because God is a master planner. Heavens are master planners. They set everything under control. The time to be free, the time to conceive. If you use the period of preparation to prepare, when a man comes to the woman and they stay together, there is conception, which results from consummation out of nothing, mere pleasure. Something begins to form gradually from nothing, mere sperm, an egg. Things that look so insignificant and so unattractive at that, because when you behold the side, something not pleasing to the side, something people can say, go clean up the mess. And then after this, something continue to happen, something continue to develop. In turn, it turns into blood. The first period, the first trimester, you see mere blood and few lumps. Where is this lump from? Conception, conceiving, process. Do you think that God or heavens could not have made it possible that once a man and a woman comes together, there could be life, a sperm, full-fledged baby? But no, patience, process. And this journey will continue with ups and downs. If not well managed, it could result to complication. And there are rules to keep for safety. And with the wisdom God has given to the physicians, doctors, and the nurses and their likes, they are able to monitor and control everything, just like in the spiritual realm. You have the priests and the very spiritual persons who are bound to control the spirituality and growth of God's children. From blood, it seems that something comes together. The head begins to form, the hand, the body, and everything gradually but steadily. Any alteration results in complication and danger. This leads to miscarriages, eventual malfunction babies, or abnormal babies at the end of the day. But come to think of it, when people realize the sacredness, the beauty of creation and procreation, they follow it up with every carefulness, begging God to help them, doing everything possible to make the journey a successful one and a joyous one. And then the enemy is not at rest because procreation is going on, because he has come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. He brings sorrow if people are less careful, or rather careless. The fact that a woman conceives, there is changes within the body. There is nausea, the early sign of pregnancy, which is not a child's play for most women. At that point, some persons, if they are not alert, goes contrary to put their health and health of their unborn in a great danger. It calls for being sensitive, wise. When you are in a man's custody and having something to do with each other, you are bound to exercise caution. So also in the spiritual journey, we are talking about what is conceivable, is achievable. As a child of God, God's children, or a child of God, you ought not to act on impulse. You ought to know that you are in a constant fellowship, that this fellowship is capable of producing. So you become very careful and guide jealously everything around you. Just like some persons end up miscarried or have miscarriages in their pregnancy, so also most children of God has miscarriages in the blessing that God brings their ways because they fail to be sensitive enough. Ignorance is not an excuse, just like that woman who ended up taking medication after she has conceived. Medication will affect the fetus if you listen to yourself. When men listen to their enemy, even though such persons are not expecting, for being the fact that she is with a man, she ought to know that there is possibility that something could happen at any time. That will make them even more careful. Also, as a child of God, when God journeys with us, we ought to know that there is possibility that anything can happen at any time. Otherwise, what is the essence of coming to the presence of God? What is the essence of praying? What is the essence of asking God for blessing? Just as the husband and wife do not have control over the growth of the baby in the woman, so also the children of God do not have control over how God is going to bless them. All they need to do is to be patient and do the needful and watch how it will come. I bet you the outcome will be fantastic, wonderful, and great. The evil one will always go by the side, using complication and oppose danger in the life of the mother and the child. But if they are very careful enough, they will avert those things by following the rules step by step. That is why it is splitted: first trimester, second trimester, and the final trimester, which is the third trimester. All these stages have different expectations. They have different stages. You see how it goes: bigger, bigger, and a child is born. When you manage the first trimester, it lands you into the second trimester. When you manage the second trimester, it lands you into the third trimester, which is the final stage. At that point, the woman is so impatient. The baby kicks is unbearable at that moment. So also, children of God, when the time comes for the big and great exploit of blessings, it is as if everything is going everywhere, trivial, just like the woman before she could put forth the child. It is a great travel, but imagine when the bundle of joy comes, every pain disappears. It brings joy upon joy. As you journey in life, there are stages that will come your way. You say, no, I have passed that stage. I'm not in the first trimester. I am not in the second trimester. I'm not in the second trimester. I'm in the third trimester. This is not my expectation at this point. You refuse to accept this. The power God has invested in a man is so enormous. Men fail to tap this power. Only few understand this. The journey with God is not a child's play. It is not for kids. It is a journey with great expectation and responsibility. Expectant mother is expected to prepare and make necessary arrangements for the arrival of the child. Otherwise, if the baby comes without this prerequisite, you have 9 months and you didn't put your house in order. We, the children of God, needs to be wise. Do not forget the travel when a child is coming forth, and the moment the child is born, every pain disappears, and it becomes very joyful. My beloved friends in Christ, refuse to accept the pain or allow the pain to subdue you, knowing fully well that what is behind the pain is greater than the pain. Whatever trial that comes your way, God's grace is sufficient for you. Run your race well and receive the crown, the blessings that God will bring to you. Never allow the pain to subdue you. Wait for your blessings. Be patient with God. God never fails. Remember, heaven and earth will pass away, but not an iota. Whatever God says is going to happen must surely happen. Remain blessed as we continue to wait on the Lord. May his blessings be upon us all. Remain blessed and bye for now.